Hey guys, how's it going? Powen here. Welcome back to the channel. It's awesome to have you guys here for another DIY technical video by ACUITY Instruments. Now in today's video, I'm going to be demonstrating the install procedure for our performance centering spring into this 2020 Civic Si right behind me. Now depending on your level of experience, this entire procedure is going to take you about 45 minutes to an hour and a half max. If you want the most detail for this install, please don't forget to check out our website for our online PDF install guides if you want all the technical specs and also torque specs as well. So with that being said, let's get to the install. To begin, pop open the hood and support it in place. Then locate the vehicle's battery in the engine bay. Loosen the negative terminal clamp on the battery and then pull the clamp from the negative battery post and set it aside as shown. Next, pry under the armrest trim pieces to pop each of the 4 clips that secure it to the center console. Start at the front of the trim piece and work your way back. Then repeat this step on the trim piece on the other side. To remove the shift knob, first squeeze the boot collar directly below the shift knob. Pull down to release the boot collar from the knob. Then use a wrench to hold the binding nut in place, then rotate the knob counterclockwise by hand to loosen it. Then unthread the shift knob and binding nut from the shifter. There are 2 trim pieces that run along both sides of the center console. Starting at the bottom of the trim piece, pry between the trim piece and the center console. Then work your way prying up the sides of the trim piece to pry out the remaining clips that fasten it in place. Repeat these steps to remove the second trim piece on the other side. Next, remove the 2 screws on each side of the shifter surround with a screwdriver. Then pry underneath the front of the shifter surround to unclip it from the center console. Then work your way back, prying up the rest of the clips that secure the sides of the shifter surround to the center console. Next, disconnect the wiring connectors underneath the shifter surround. Each connector has a locking tab that needs to be depressed before it can be removed. With all of the connectors disconnected, lift the shifter surround off from the shifter and set it aside. Next, we must remove the climate control head unit. Pry underneath each side of the unit as shown to unclip it from the upper console. Disconnect all the electrical connectors by first depressing the locking tabs on each connector to pull it free from the back of the unit. Then set the climate control unit aside. Next, we must remove the upper console panel assembly, which is screwed in place at the following 3 locations. First, remove the 2 upper Phillips screws as shown. Then remove the 3rd screw at the bottom of the upper console panel near the shifter. With all the screws removed, shift into an even gear and then remove the upper console panel from the center console. Next, remove the following rubber tray mat. Then insert a pick tool into the slot just below the switch panel assembly. Pull on the bottom edge to unclip it from the center console. Then pry along each side of the panel to pull it out from the center console. Then disconnect all the wiring connectors behind the panel and then set it aside. Unclip the following light bulb from the center console. Then remove the adjacent harness clip as shown, using an angled pick tool to depress the retaining tabs on the clip. Proceed to remove the remaining wiring clips that affix the harness of the shifter surround to the inside of the center console, again using a pick tool to depress any retaining tabs on the clips. Clear out the storage area of the center console. Then remove the 2 screws that secure the center console to the chassis of the car. Next, we must remove the rear panel assembly behind the center console. Use a plastic pry tool to remove the rear panel assembly. Start at the top of the panel and then work your way down, prying the panel away from the center console. Disconnect any electrical connections from this panel if you have them. Disconnect the following connector on the back of the center console and then use a pick tool to remove the wiring harness clip from the back of the console. Again, there are retaining tabs that hold the clip in place. Pull back on the center console to unclip it from the dashboard. Then lift the center console up, then disconnect the USB port from the bottom of the console as shown. Once the USB plug has been disconnected, lift the center console up and off from the shifter, then set it aside. Next, you will need to remove the gate change cable from the rocker pin. First, pry the metal retaining clip off from the rocker as shown. Then slide the gate change cable off from the rocker. Locate the two locking tabs on the end of the plastic rocker pin. Depress both locking tabs simultaneously and slide the rocker off from the shifter frame. To remove the OEM centering spring, push the shift lever towards the gate for reverse gear, and then press the lower prong with your thumb. Pull the lower prong upwards to meet the top prong, then rotate the spring up and then pull it off of the shifter. Open the packaging to your new centering spring. Install the spring onto the shifter as shown. Rotate the spring so that the top prong is seated into the rocker pin. Move the shift lever towards the gate for 5th and 6th gear, and then pull the lower prong downwards around the rocker pin as shown, letting it settle in place into the plastic grooves on the rocker pin. Now slide the rocker back onto the shifter until the locking tabs snap into place. Then reinstall the gate change cable back onto the rocker and then secure it in place with the factory retaining clip. Now open the packet of grease that's supplied in your kit. Apply grease to the following locations as shown. Once the spring is installed, shift through all the gears to ensure that the spring is functioning properly. Then proceed to reassemble the entire center console following the disassembly steps in reverse order. Alright everyone, that wraps it up for today's install guide. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now if you did, please don't forget to leave a like on this video below and also consider subscribing to the channel for more content. Now if you guys want to stay even more up to date with all of our parts and projects, don't forget to check us out on Instagram and Facebook as well. Again, my name is Pawan Song and I will catch you guys in the next video.